Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. And welcome to the weekend. It's Saturday morning. And normally on a Saturday morning, we do a very specific meditation called Come to Your Senses, where we place our attention on our physical senses. But we're doing something slightly different today. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Sunray. Good morning, Stefan. Happy Saturday. Hope that you are enjoying stepping into the weekend. The theme of our meditation today is the heart. So let's dive into some messaging around our hearts. What is there that we can do differently or see or understand about our hearts? So the scientific data is really clear. When we are engaged with our hearts, we are different. We are different both on a psychological as well as a physiological level. The mind slows down and our thoughts become more rational and more focused. Charlene, good morning. Happy Saturday. Good to see you. Positive thoughts and feelings add energy to our system. An optimistic perspective, a feeling of appreciation, or a gesture of kindness, for example, they are energy assets. They add energy to our system. While negative thoughts and feelings deplete our store of energy. Anger, jealousy, and judgmental thoughts, for example, are energy deficits. The results of studying how our body reacts when we bring attention to our heart demonstrates a simplicity that seems almost like magic. When we bring our attention to our heart, we don't have to fake positivity. We don't have to try and push away negative thoughts. We can simply bring our attention to our breath and imagine that the air flows in and out through the heart. Now open yourself to whatever you can feel in your chest as you breathe in and out through your heart. This is the simple exercise we'll do while we meditate today. We haven't done this meditation for a long time. It's called heart coherence. And as I've already mentioned, the science of this is really clear. When you bring your attention to your heart, your body and your mind changes. You're in a slightly different place. You don't have to try so hard to think positive thoughts. They'll be there. Anne-Marie, good morning. Happy Saturday. Good to see you. Right, so Jack Cornfield also has a few messages for us about the heart today. Let's see what he says. He says, look at every path closely and deliberately. Try it as many times as you think necessary. Then ask yourself, and yourself alone, one question. This question is one that only a very old man asks. My benefactor told me about it once when I was young, and my blood was too vigorous for me to understand it. Now I do understand it. I will tell you what it is. The question is, does this path have a heart? If it does, the path is good. If it doesn't, it is of no use. Can you imagine asking yourself that? Trying something, trying the left path, trying the right path, and then saying which path has a heart? How would that work if we did that more? The next thought from Jack Cornfield says, if you want to love, take the time to listen to your heart. In most ancient and wise cultures, it is a regular practice for people to talk to their heart. There are rituals, stories, and meditative skills in every spiritual tradition that awaken the voice of the heart. To live wisely, this practice is essential because our heart is the source of our connection to intimacy with all of life. And life is love. This mysterious quality of love is all around us, as real as gravity, yet how often we forget about love. And one more thought from Jack Cornfield says, no amount of outer technology, no amount of computers and biotechnology and nanotechnology is going to stop the continuation of warfare and racism and environmental destruction. What is called for on earth at this time is really a change of heart. Estelle, good morning. Good to see you. Hello. A change of heart is what is called for on earth. The question is really not the future of humanity, but the presence of eternity. I love that sentence so much. So I want to repeat this last sentence again, because this topic is a topic that consumes so much of my attention, the future of humanity. Jack Cornfield says the question is really not the future of humanity, but the presence of eternity. What the future of humanity needs is a change of heart right here in the present. And we can't be waiting for anyone else to start. Each of us is responsible for doing our work to bring our heads and hearts into alignment. And before any decision we make, ask ourselves, does this path have a heart? If you're ready, let's dive in. Let's pay attention to our hearts today. You can close your eyes and we'll start with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Continue your own full body breathing, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale, while I talk you through an exercise. This exercise comes from research done by the Heart Math Institute in Australia. And And while they have all sorts of fancy equipment to help people do different exercises, what they've found is that without any equipment, just sitting and breathing, here is the exercise that brings us into alignment with our heart the fastest, in a way that shows up in measurements in blood tests, and measurements in EKG tests, seeing the effect in our hearts and our bodies. While you continue your full body breathing, I want you to imagine one little change in your body. Well, if this change actually happened physiologically, it would be a huge change, but in our imagination, it's a little change. Imagine that the windpipe that you breathe through, down your throat, your trachea, imagine that pipe, that airway, doesn't just flow right past your heart, but imagine that airway was in the center of your heart. It moved right through the middle of your heart, and your heart was around it. Imagine that in your body right now. That every breath you breathe in, every time your body rises and the air flows in, it flows through the middle of your heart. And every time your body softens as you breathe out, again, the exhale moves through the middle of your heart. Place your attention there. Feel the air flow through your heart. Once again, place your attention on the air flow and feel the air flow through your heart. And as you do, as you feel the air flow through that part of your chest, through your heart, become aware of the physical sensation you can feel there. What do you feel physically as you feel the air flow in and out through your heart? In this moment, with your attention on your heart and becoming aware of the physical sensation around your heart, there are changes happening in your body. There are changes happening in your brain. I think it was in 1983 when the heart was actually added to the endocrine system, which means they discovered that the heart is in fact not, just like Chris Barnard suggested, only a pump. It actually has glandular action too. It secretes hormones. And with your attention on your heart, there is a huge effect that your body pays attention to and comes online for. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. For the rest of our meditation, periodically bring your attention back to the feeling in your heart. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left. And forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, bring your attention to your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And also bring your upper body over to the right. You're leaning into your back muscles on the left and your back muscles on the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to do that, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. As you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Especially for today's meditation, feel the air flow through the middle of your heart. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, which really is a moment of you holding you. But hold your breath only for as long as it feels comfortable, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, pay particular attention to the air flowing through your heart. Take your next big breath. We're going to do a visualization. So I want you to ask your imagination along for the ride. Be open and playful with the experience. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, I want you to bring to your mind the image of a long boat, a long, narrow boat on a calm lake. It's a beautiful sunny day. Take your next big breath. In your image of this long, narrow boat, add all of us on that boat together, and maybe a few more strangers. Quite a large group of us, all sitting one behind the other on this long, narrow boat, on a beautiful, glassy lake, on a beautifully warm day. Take your next big breath. Add one more thing to this image of all of us sitting one after the other, behind the other, in this long, narrow boat. Each of us are given a paddle, or actually more like a wooden oar, and we're told to row, all of us together and some strangers. And I think it's likely that very few and maybe none of us are experienced rowers. We're told, okay, row. Take your next big breath. I can imagine a bit of confusion, that it takes us a while to figure out how to row together. It might start out quite chaotic, and we might not gain much speed at first, as a whole lot of inexperienced rowers try to figure out, how do we synchronize, how do we do this together? Can you see that image? Take your next big breath. And then, in your visualization, in your image, ask your imagination to add one more thing. in this boat, we are told, behind us, on the end of the boat, where we can't see, there is a drummer. And this drummer is going to start drumming a beat. It'll be a beat of two, one louder and one softer. On the loud part of the beat, stick your oar in the water and pull. On the soft part of the beat, lift the oar out the water and reset. Loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft. And now we all have a rhythm to row to. How much more easily do we get into a rhythm now? How much more easily do we synchronize and row coherently? Take your next big breath. And if the drummer on the back of our boat, for the fun of it, decides to change that rhythm again, and instead of having a coherent rhythm that we can follow, he starts beating a rhythm that's more chaotic again, more incoherent. Would it become more difficult to try and row together as we were following the rhythm of the drummer? Take a moment to recognize how powerful that rhythmic beat of the drum will be, how much influence it has over this system of rowers, to bring them all into coherence or to create chaos. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. And again, bring your attention to the air flowing in and out through the middle of your heart. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. I'll take that back. Today we're going to keep our attention on our breathing. Still, you can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down. Feel yourself just floating. Bring your attention to your breath, yes. Feel the air flow in and out right through the middle of your heart. Our heart is the drummer of our system. Studies show that under pressure, under stress, during fight or flight, our heart's beating rhythm becomes more incoherent. And in this space, we actually have systems in our body competing against one another. Competing for resources, blood, oxygen, nutrients. Because in fight or flight, the parts of our body that need the most nutrients are the parts needed for running and fighting. Arms and legs. And we literally receive less blood flow, less oxygen, less nutrients in our vital organs, for our immune system, and for the thinking parts of our brain. Because under fight or flight, what is necessary is, well, running or fighting. But when our heart moves into a coherent beating rhythm, all of the systems follow. Instead of competing, they start cooperating. That is correlated with a switch in our nervous system as well. Instead of sympathetic, we move over to parasympathetic, to our calm nervous system. And as our heartbeat becomes more coherent, blood flow, oxygen, nutrients are shared among all systems. And even our brain waves slow down. Our head drops into our heart. And one of the simplest exercises to ensure we get there is the one we just did. Bring your attention to your breathing. Imagine that airway you're breathing through runs through your heart. Feel the air flow in and out through your heart. Can you feel the air right there? And now pay attention to that sensation. That sensation that awakens in your heart. Your head and your whole body has come online. Every rower is rowing in beat with a drummer. What if you stopped once every day to take a few breaths and specifically pay attention to the air flowing through your heart and linger for a moment on that sensation, the sensation that wakes up in your heart. Right now, your heart releases oxytocin, makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, and it releases nitric oxide. Your arteries actually widen. More blood flow, more nutrition and oxygen for your whole system. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for my big, beautiful heart. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this question from Jack Cornfield this morning. When you have to choose between different paths, try them. And then ask yourself, which path has a heart? Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this image of reminding myself before every decision to ask the question, which path has a heart? Take a deep breath in. Again, thank you for my big, beautiful heart. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on this journey with us today. I want to get to that last sentence from Jack Cornfield. The question really is not the future of humanity, not the future of humanity, but the presence of eternity. The fact that what the future of humanity needs is a change of heart right here in the present. And it takes each of us. We can't wait for someone else to initiate this. It takes each of us to have a change of heart. And this is quite literal, but it creates a big change, bringing your attention to your heart and what it feels. And just imagine that you do it periodically during your day. Feel this heart. Take a few breaths until you can feel the air flow through this heart. Even if you don't ask the question, does this path have a heart? Do you think you might start acting differently? Do you think you might start choosing differently if you check in with this heart and become in tune with this heart? Thank you, beautiful people. Good morning, Vivian. It's good to see you. Nala, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you, Anna Marie. Thank you, Sun Marie. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Stefan. And I can't see anyone else on the back of my screen and not remember who else is here. Estelle, there we go. Awesome seeing you today. Have a beautiful Saturday. Have a great weekend. And if you feel like a quiet meditation, we'll be here for that tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.